Kentrell Gaulden, known by his stage name NBA Youngboy, now faces nearly 2 years in prison on federal gun charges. Gaulden was arrested in 2020 during a music video shoot in Baton Rouge when he and others were brandishing guns. He pled guilty to charges of being a felon in possession of firearms and was sentenced to 23 months.
Man, Baton Rouge shit, it's all about staying alive. It don't matter if you in that setting or you out that setting. Ain't no hiding from gun violence. Ain't no hiding from violence, period. Man, I grew up stealing and taking from people and shit like that. Like, man.
And I hope y'all having a great day. On today's episode, we have some of y'all favorite rapper on the catalog. We have NBA Youngboy Never Broke Again. And yeah, but I kind of want to say this in the intro and just kind of the things I want to do with this series. You know, some of y'all may be looking at Youngboy, y'all may look at this thug, this street dude, whatever and stuff like that. But one thing I like to do is I like to look for the good in people. You know what I'm saying? And with Youngboy, I realize he does have a really good trait that I feel like we don't talk enough, about. We talk a lot about, oh, Youngboy saying this, Youngboy this person, woo, woo, woo. But one thing I think we can all admit is Youngboy done been through a lot of trials and tribulations within his life. You know what I'm saying? And that causes for perseverance. You have to have that. And that's what today's episode is going to be centered around. And Youngboy and perseverance. And some tips I see from Youngboy that I think we can implement in our life and make our life better. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a video where I'm glazing Youngboy or anything like that. I'm just telling y'all, you know what I'm saying? I like to look for the good in people because, a lot of times, especially when it comes to black celebrities or things like that, it's a lot of times a lot of people like to put negative connotations on them. And I feel that some of them justified, some of them not justified, but sometimes the person, they may have a trait that I think is very good. And this one of Youngboy's traits that I think is very good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to be talking about that. But a little introduction on myself. My name is Rod. I'm a 17-year-old content creator. And I have my own clothing brand too. And these are certain tips that I'm putting into my business and my content too when it comes to persevering through obstacles. And y'all should do the same. But with all that being said, I ain't going to yap too much more longer. Hope y'all enjoyed today's video. But with all that being said, let's get into it. But get your notebook ready and take some notes. You feel me? But let's get into it for real now. Number one, what I think we can learn from it is touch people's heart. And let me elaborate on this because, as y'all know, Youngboy has a strong fan base. You know what I'm saying? All his supporters, they was at his court date sometimes. They at the shows selling out these venues and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Buying his merch up and everything like that. But one thing I really took from is that Youngboy done touched so many people's hearts that hearts may have not been touched by other people through music or something like or things like that. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that he touched their heart, it's like the way they arrive from him is different, like they actually know him. And some people may consider that a bad thing, a good thing, whatever. But for Youngboy, it's a positive thing, you know what I'm saying, where he can come out of certain situations, that say if he put himself in that situations or certain things outside, then put him in that certain situations to the point now where it's like, boom, okay, now he can keep on doing what he's doing at a high level and keep impacting people and still having that support behind him with his support base, his fan base, you know what I'm saying? And one thing I like to put in aspect of this, like when you do positive in the world, you're going to start see positive come back. You know what I'm saying? And Youngboy done put positivity in other people's hearts, that may have not been feeling like they was hurt or may have not been feeling like they can express their emotions or things like that. And Youngboy may have been a person they seen that did that and they relate to it to the point where it's like, okay, boom, so Youngboy's putting that good into the world to where it's like, saying now the good may be monetary good, or you see him selling out almost every venue that he's having a show for because that's the type of impact that he has on certain people. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, once you put good into the world and you start touching people, you're going to start realizing that you're going to start seeing good things come back, whether that's monetary or whether that's just feelings, good feelings or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But that's definitely one tip I think we could take from Youngboy. But with all that being said, I ain't gonna yap too much on it. Let's get straight into number two. Number two, what I got for y'all is just never quit, bro. Never give up on yourself. Never feel like it's the end of the world, man. And there's a lot of ways Youngboy's expressed this. My bad, excuse me. But the main way I really see is that you just look at his track record. You see he been through jail so many times. He done been through all these cases, all this stuff's just bringing down his career and what was meant to slow him down, but he always comes back on top. And the main reason I think that is because, bro, you cannot let that negativity keep you down. And I really think about that, especially with his last two cases that he was fighting. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, had a whole bunch of negativity on him. People think he pushing this bad message onto the youth and all this stuff. And if you think the message is bad, that's up to you. You think it's good, it's up to you again. Like I'm saying, but we're talking about the perseverance side of things. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I really seen is he pushed through a lot of them obstacles. You know what I'm saying? And especially this last time, I feel like I don't know him personally, of course, but me personally, I feel like this was more of like the time where he kind of really woke up from the things he was doing, and he's really ready to like kind of change his type of character, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? But he never really let the negativity really dim his light. Because obviously, you see these rumors on you. You got half the people in your genre, your industry not liking you. You have beef with one of the biggest people in your genre, so that automatically feels people to not like you, and many people to turn their back on you. You know what I'm saying? But then you got to realize you persevered through that. You persevered through the negativity that people may put on your name. You know what I'm saying? And you continue to keep grinding, continue to keep going. And that's how eventually you get to where he's at. You know what I'm saying? Throughout all the adversity he's been through, you still realize, bro, he's still selling out these shows, booking out at venues, you know what I'm saying? All this other stuff. He's selling out in cities where a lot of his rival artists is living. You know what I'm saying? And this video is no glaze at all, but I'm just telling y'all really what it is with Youngboy. You know what I'm saying? With Youngboy, it's not necessarily like oh, oh, Rod, why you glazing him so much? Oh my goodness. Oh, Youngboy's just a bad person, anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said in the intro, I see good throughout everybody, and that's one thing I want y'all to get through the series. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, with all that being said, let's go and wrap up tip number 2. Now let's get into the last final tip and one of the most important tips, so stay tuned. Number 3, what I got for y'all, and this ain't really too much perseverance, but this one trait that I really seen from Youngboy too that I can generally say, okay, boom, that's a great trait to have. Always have a tight circle. If y'all really look at just Youngboy's close, like people close, real close to him, you can really count on your hands how many people have really switched up on him publicly. Now, I'm not sure privately people switched up or anything like that, but publicly it hasn't been nobody for real. You know what I'm saying? One thing I really can see from that is that he keeps him a tight circle around. Now, of course, some of his rap friends may have changed, but I'm talking about his immediate circle. You know what I'm saying? Not too many people in his immediate circle has changed on him. You know what I'm saying? And one thing we can learn from that, bro, is don't be trying to invite all these new people into your circle. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people like to leech onto you. But also with that, don't be scared to network. You know what I'm saying? But even with that, Youngboy still continues to network. You know what I'm saying? Like Youngboy, he just had a song with I just seen on my Instagram. He had a song with a country artist recently, and Birdman. He networked with Birdman. He networked with some good people. To get him in good positions and better positions. To further his life. But what thing you will see is that his closer people that's between him. Like you got, I'm naming people off the top of my head. You got OG3. You got Baba. Who's the dude that be on stage with him? D-Dog and all these folks. All them folks like that, they never switched up. They always been on his side. And it's like them the type of people you want to have you around, And of course, privately, they might go through certain disagreements, certain arguments, things like that. But overall, it will never hit public news that we will know that. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing good I see from Youngboy. He definitely has a good group of people around him that's definitely there to like really see him grow, definitely see him succeed. Especially I can talk on OG3 a lot because I see him the most on like my feed and stuff. So OG3 definitely, I could tell you that he wants to see Youngboy win and Youngboy continue to grow into a better person. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, with all that being said, that's pretty much gonna wrap up today's video on Youngboy. I really hope y'all enjoyed today's video, man. Just something positive, because a lot of times in the world, especially when we talk about certain rappers, we always talk about the negative things they do. But I feel like with every rapper, it could be some positive things that they do. And Youngboy definitely has a couple positive things that he does. And tomorrow's video is actually on another rapper too tomorrow. Tomorrow's videos might be one of my best videos, I'm not even gonna lie. So y'all stay tuned for that. But with all that being said, I love every single one of y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your night, and I'll see y'all for tomorrow. Bye.